Baby's in dreamland.
Mama's in Krystal. Honey, what are you doing here? We just got Bess out of
Please
there.
tell me that you haven't gone crazy and fallen back in love with that jerk.
No.
Do you know what you're doing?
I do, and I'm just buying time.
For what? I mean, the closer you get to JR, the faster he can destroy you.
I know. It's the only thing I can think of on the way home.
The way home from where?
From where, Mama? From my beautiful baby boy.
You said you went to that broken down chapel to pray to your son. Is that what brought this on? Do you think he wants you to stay with JR?
No. I don't even need the chapel to talk to my baby. I saw him. He's alive. He's real. I held him. And I fed him a bottle. I held him in my arms. And he was as beautiful as the day he was born. My baby didn't die in that crash. My baby boy, he's alive.
Honey, what are you talking about?
My little boy, he's alive.
How is that possible, babe?
Well, somehow, no, not somehow. Paul Kramer, he took my baby, and now his sister Kelly and her husband Kevin Buchanan, they have my little boy.
Honey, now Paul Kramer is as skeevy as they come, but stealing a baby.
No, Mama, it's all true. I saw him. He's alive. He's well. I held him and I touched his sweet little face. I held him in my arms. It was amazing. He's amazing. Mama, he's as beautiful as the day he was born.
Honey, listen to me. Why don't you tell me exactly what happened when you went to that chapel?
It was a fairy tale, an absolute fairy tale. I went there to talk to my baby, and I'm saying a prayer. God must have been listening, because the next thing I know, I am driving down the road, and I take a wrong turn, and I end up in this restaurant in Lambview. Of all places, Kevin Buchanan, he is sitting there, and he's holding my little boy. Is this not a miracle?
Sometimes miracles aren't what they seem.
Oh, no, Mama, this, you should have seen it. It was real, my little boy. It's like we had this connection. It was like lightning, and then I saw Paul, and then that just sealed the deal for everything, because he was so nervous. It's like his head was gonna explode.
Paul Kramer lives in Lambview.
Yeah, you should have seen him. He was totally freaking out. He didn't want me talking to Kevin Buchanan. He definitely didn't want me holding Ace.
Ace?
Yeah. Oh, Ace is what they call him. I mean, but it doesn't even matter what his name is, right? The whole point is my baby knew his mom. You guys, he was crying his head off, and then the second I held him, he just stopped.
Maybe he just cried himself out, honey.
No. He knew he was home with his mama. That's the thing. Oh, you guys don't know. I can still feel him in my arms. Oh, my God. That has to be how Bianca felt. When she took Bess from the hospital, she knew it was her own baby, no matter what everybody else said, and no matter what the facts were. Oh, my. Can't you guys just see this is a miracle?
Babe, I know that you believe this with all your heart.
Why aren't you guys happy? Don't you see what this is?
Yes, I'm afraid we do.
Look, first you announced you're staying with JR, and now you say that you found your baby boy. Honey, you have been pulled 8 ways to Sunday.
I know that it is crazy for me to be here, but I had to buy some time.
Buy time for what?
To figure out how I'm going to get my little boy back before JR finds out. Because the second he finds out the truth, I'm not going to be able to get my baby back, and I have to make sure that I protect Miranda for Bianca.
Look, you're crazed about Bess. You're freaked about giving her back to Bianca. You saw the baby, you bumped into Paul Kramer. The whole nightmare just came crashing back on you.
Can you please just not talk all soothing to me like I'm bonkers or something? Paul stole my baby, and he gave him to his sister Kelly.
Babe, Why would he do something so crazy?
I have no idea. And yeah, we need to ask him, but what am I supposed to do? Just confront him? Mama, you know that he could have done this. Paul hated me, David.
That doesn't mean that he would steal your baby.
But he's the one that said that Miranda was mine, even though he knew that I had a little boy. And Mama, you're the one that even said the night that you guys found Bianca and I that Adam and JR were threatening to rip him apart if anything happened to his little boy. But the thing is he already stashed my little boy somewhere, so to cover his own sorry butt, he says that Miranda's mine.
And that's all the proof that you have?
I know that I need more, and I need your help to get it. So help me, okay? How are we gonna get my baby back from the Buchanans? You guys really think that I'm crazy, don't you? I'm not crazy, and I'm not trying to get out of giving Bianca her baby back. I know what I felt, what I saw. It's real, and my baby is out there.
Okay, now listen to me. You just take a breath and clear your mind, honey. Think about what you've been through, okay? Your no good husband has just pulled your whole world out from underneath you. You're about to have to give that baby back to her real mama. Now, it makes sense that you're looking for something, for anything that seems like a miracle.
No! If you would have been at that restaurant in Lambview, you know that I was telling the truth.
Babe, I have no doubt whatsoever that you believe that this is true. But sometimes, when the only place to go is pain, our mind, well, it works to protect us. It creates a logic that will help soften the pain. That's what happened to you in Lambview, babe. Now, I know that you want to believe that your baby is alive. Of course you do.
I want my father to believe me. And my mama. I don't need my head to be shrunk.
I lived it too, babe. After Leora died, I thought I saw her too, everywhere. But the reality was that, well, she was just a phantom of something I could never have again.
No. My baby is not a phantom, David. He is alive. He is flesh and blood.
But he's not yours. Babe, please let this go. The longer you try to hold on to this, the more difficult it is going to be for you to face reality. Do you understand that?
Yeah. Yeah, I understand just fine. I understand that you two aren't going to help me, so I'll find somebody who will.
Wait a minute.
Babe, don't go. Don't.
You can't just rush off and claim some baby as your own.
It's not some baby, David. This is my little boy, and I remember him, even the little dimple in his cheek.
Sweetheart, you only saw your baby for a few brief moments.
Have you forgotten your baby's face? Would you remember Leora if you saw her again, David? Even after all of this time, her tiny little lips and her seashell ears?
Of course I would. But that doesn't make it possible for either of us.
Honey, there is nothing we want more than for your baby to be alive, but...
But what, you think I'm loony?
All right. Look, if you're so certain about this, why didn't you confront Buchanan?
And tell him what? That his little boy is mine? Yeah, that would go over real well. You two love me, and you don't even believe me. He would have me shut down so fast.
She has a point.
The one thing I learned in the Chandler house is that the truth doesn't always work. You have to have a plan, and it has to be
But remember that not everybody is as twisted as the Chandlers.
But I saw Kevin with my little boy, okay? And if he loves my baby anywhere as much as JR loves Bess, the second that I get anywhere near him, he's gonna shut me down.
So what are you gonna do?
We're not really having this conversation, are we?
I don't know what I'm gonna do, Mama. Last time, when I pulled that whole pregnancy bit on JR, you got mad at me because I didn't have a plan. Well, this time I'm gonna have one, and it's gonna be a doozy.
Well, that's one word for it if it means you having to stay here with JR.
I just need time to figure everything out. just to find a way to get my little boy back. Now, are you in or are you out?
I've got the best fairy tale ever for you, Peanut. Okay. Once upon a time, there was a prince and a princess, and they were soulmates. And their mommies were best friends. But the night that they were born, an evil troll came, and he stole the little boy away. But he told the mommies that the little boy was dead. But what nobody knew was that he had taken the little boy and he'd hid him in the woods all for himself. But don't you worry, my pretty princess. This story has a very happy ending.
David, we have to check it out. Babe doesn't lie to me.
There's a difference between a lie and a delusion.
Okay. You said you wanted daddy lessons? Well, sometimes being a parent means going with your heart instead of your head.
Translation. You're all over this, aren't you?
You're darn right I am.
All right. I'm in. But just so that I can get enough proof to convince Babe that that baby boy is not hers.
Whatever it takes to get the truth.
So when the evil troll was locked away, everybody danced in the streets, and the mommies cried buckets and buckets of tears. And finally, the little girl and the little boy, they met face to face, just like their mommies had planned so very long ago. But they knew that they would never, ever be apart again. So do you know what that means? It means that everybody lived happily ever after.